So hello everyone, welcome to another brand new video. So here in this video we're gonna actually make this card, as you can see. So the most interesting thing is we're gonna actually create the card, that's okay, but we're gonna also add this nice hover effect, as you can see. So this is sort of a 3D hover effect, as you can see that. And also if you notice, there is a highlight whenever I'm actually changing my position. There is a highlight which is also moving, and together this 3D effect and the highlight, it is looking very nice. And also we're gonna make another version of this card, which is this one, as you can see. So in this version of this same card, we're gonna actually make this blurry background, as you can see that here. We're gonna make it, and with this blurry background and transparent color, it is looking really cool, as you can see. I really like that, and I'm excited to show you how you can also make it. So I'll see you in the end of the video. So no more talk, let's dive into it. So first of all, let's create an index file here, index.html, I mean. So index.html, and here in our index.html file, so let's get the HTML, and in the body, first of all, let's have a section, and inside there we'll have a div with a class of container. So inside this we will have our card wrapper, so div with a class of card wrapper, and inside that we'll have another div with a class of card, and in our card we will have our content. So inside this we will have our content for the card. So let's have a div with a class of card name, and let's say that we'll have a paragraph for that, and let's give it a name. And after that we will have another div with the class of card number, and inside this we will have our card number. So for the card number we will have it inside of a div. So we will say that we'll have a class name, and let's say that card number, and this will be stars. Okay, so let's have some stars. So we'll have 4 of them. So let's actually copy this whole line and duplicate this. I think 3 will be enough, and after this then we can actually delete this last one, and we'll have a div with a class of we do not need any kind of class for this. We will just say that 1 2 3 4. So we have 4 div, as you can see that, for the number, and 3 of them will be this star, and for the last one we will have this 1 2 3 4. And let's actually open this in our live server, and here, as you can see that, I can see the content of our card, and which is looking fine. So after that, let's create our CSS file. So let's get a new file with the name of style.css, and let's link this with our HTML file. So link CSS, and it will link the CSS. So in our CSS, first of all, let's have the font. So I have this link from the fonts.google.com. just I'm using Poppins font, as you can see that. So just go to fonts.google.com and grab your font. So after that, decide all the elements. So padding will be the 0, and let's say that margin will be also 0, and box sizing will be the border box. So that's it. And after that, let's go to our body. So for the body, let's say that the background color will be, let's have a background color. Let's actually have a white color for now. We will get back to this background color later. So in the HTML, let's say that font size will be 10 pixel. So now in our HTML, the font size is 10 pixel, and after that, let's also apply the font family here, and let's say that font family will be the Poppins, and the font is already applied here, and let's say that the color will be, for now let's actually keep it black. And after that, let's go to our section, and here let's say that the width will be around 100%, and mean height will be 100 VH. And after that, let's go to our display will be the flags, and we will also have align items will be the center, and justify content also center. So as you can see that all the contents are in the center because we are having this flex center, as you can see. So after that, let's go to our container. So container, so let's write quickly the 90% width, and also the max width for the large device will be 1200 pixel, and finally margin 0 auto to keep everything center. Great. And finally we can also make this content center by just saying that display will be flex and align items will be center, and justify content will be the center as well. So as you can see, so after that we will have our card wrapper. So let's go to our card wrapper. So card, so in the card wrapper the width will be 100%. Let me check my recording quickly. It's fine. So after the width, let's say that the max width of this will be the 466.67 pixel. So this will be the width of our card, and the height will be, so we need to specify a specific height, so 300 pixel. And finally the parent means as you can see that this is the parent of our card, so that's why we need to specify the perspective, because we can actually rotate the card. So let's actually have the perspective here. So perspective will be 1000 pixel. So whenever you will give them the perspective, that a child element means the card will have the 3D perspective. So after that, let's actually go to our card and let's have some style for it. First of all, the width will be the 100% of this parent, means the card wrapper's width will be the exact same width for this one, and also beside that the border radius will be 18 pixel, and also we'll have a box shadow. So for the box shadow it will be 0 0 20 pixel, and RGBA here 0 means it will be a black color, and 0.1 opacity. So that's it, something like that. And also let's have some padding here. So padding will be 30 pixel. So now as you can see that the content is now here because we are having the padding. So great. And after that, let's say that the flex direction will be the column, and also align items will be the center, and justify content will be the center as well. Okay, I forgot to add the display flex first of all. So display flex. So now as you can see that every content is now in center, but we do not want to have the content in the center. What I want is I want to have this in the bottom side. So for that, what I can do actually, I just can say that align items will be flex end. So now as you can see that it is in the right side already, and if I give justify content flex end as well, so it will be in the right bottom side as you can see. So fine for now. And after that, let's say that the position will be relative. So position will be so relative here, and overflow will be hidden, and background color, so let's give it a background color. For now let's give it royal blue color. So yeah, looking good. So after that, let's go to our card wrapper once again here. So card wrapper, so we will say that inside the card wrapper whatever will be there, so inside the card wrapper we have the content and stuff like that. So what I want for those elements is pointer events will be the none. So whenever we will add the hover event in the future, so this content now will not interfere with that. So great. And after that, let's go to our highlight. So let's actually add a div with a class of highlight after our card numbers here. So this is the card numbers closing div, and here let's have a highlight. So now we have a div with a class of highlight. Now we can add some style for our highlights. So let's do that. So highlight. So here the position of this will be relative, not relative, absolute here, and after that height will be 400 pixel, and this one will be a complete circle, so that's why the width should be also 400 pixel, and border radius will be 50%, and background color will be the RGB. So now if you can see, if I actually increase the opacity a little bit, now as you can see that this is the circle for our highlight. Let's actually keep it like that right now. Whenever we will end our styling, we will reduce the opacity. Right now let's keep it this high opacity, and after that let's also add some filter in these highlights. So filter will be we will have the brightness here. Brightness will be 70%, and blur will be 20 pixel. Yeah, looking really nice. And left, let's say that 20%. So top will be -13%. Great, now it is right here. As you can see that if I actually remove the blurriness, you can see it clearly. So let's go to our card number then. So let's come here for the card number. So for the card number, the font size will be the 2 rem, and also margin bottom. So margin bottom will be 10 pixel, and display will be flex, and align items center, and justify content will be the center as well. So now as you can see that those are here, this number, it is looking good, and we want some gap finally. So gap will be 1 rem. So now it is looking finally better, but what I want is I want to have the vertical alignment. Right now it is having the vertical alignment center, but it is not quite center. So for that we need to give the specific height to our stars. So card number stars, and for the stars the height will be, let's say, the 2.4 rem. Now it is looking much better. And finally the card name. For the card name, the font weight will be, let's say that, so the font weight will be the 300. So it will be the lightest font. So font size will be 4 rem, and margin bottom will be the margin bottom 10 pixel, and align items, or align self, actually here self will be flex start. So if I give it align self flex start, it will be in the left side, as you can see that. And also let's keep it 1 rem. So 1 rem and 10 pixel will be the same, because the base font size is 10 pixel. So great, now we have it in the left side, and what I need to do right now is I need to make the color white here. So we just can go to our card here and give it a color of white, or what you can do, actually it will be good if I give the white color here in the HTML. So as you can see that it is looking perfect. And finally one thing we need to do is we need to make this one in the top. So for that what I can do, actually I can maximize the height of this card name. So let's say that the height will be 100%, and if I do, it will be in the top, as you can see. So fine, we have everything okay here. After that we need to go to our JS to add the hover effect, add the hover rotation. So let's go to our JS file. First of all, let's get a JS file, name it anything you want. I will say main.js, and let's actually link it first of all. So here before our closing body tag here, and script source, and let's go to main.js. So in our JS, first of all we need to select the DOM elements. So let's say that so here first of all let's say that constant card wrapper will be document.querySelector. We can actually select it with the class name. So the class name is card wrapper. and constant card. So the card will be document dot query selector, and the class for that is the card. And also the last thing that we need to select is the highlight div. So highlight equals to document dot query selector. So the class for this one will be the dot highlight. Awesome. So now we have these three elements, and after that let's go to our next step. So in the next step, let's actually specify the highest value for our angle. So in the rotation, whenever we will hover, there will be an angle. So let's actually specify the highest values for them. So constant most x, so this will be the most x angle will be the 10, and also constant most y angle will be the 10 as well. So this can be plus 10 or it can be minus 10. So this can be positive 10 in the x, and also it can be minus 10 in the x. So after that, let's actually go to our main stuff, which is the event listener. So card wrapper dot add event listener, not that one, add event listener. So the event that we are gonna listen is mouse move. So whenever we will move our mouse in the top of this element, what we wanna do. So first of all, here we need to actually remove the transitions. So card dot style dot transition will be none, and also in the highlight we need to do the same. So style dot transition will be the none. So after that, we need to get some variable from our event. So whenever we will actually move our cursor in the top of our this card, we want to actually get the position, means the x and the y from that. So let's actually get those. So constant x, so this is the position of our cursor, e dot offset y, sorry, offset x first of all, and also constant y equals to e dot offset y. Great. And if I actually console log those, console log the x and y, let's actually see what will happen. So here if I open my console, and as you can see that whenever I'm hovering, I can see the position, the x and the y, if you see that. And if I go to the left top, the x and y is actually closer to our 0 0, because the start point is 0 0. So now as you can see that in the most top left is the 0 0, and the most right bottom will be the highest number of this height and width of the card, as you can see. So which means it is giving us the position of this cursor. So let's actually come here and use those things. So also we need two more things. We need the height and the width of this card. So let's say that the width and the height will be, so card wrapper dot, so get bounding client rect, which will give us the height and the width. So we can actually destructure those from this directly, as you can see. So now we are actually getting the height and width, and if you can see that we are actually using card wrapper because it doesn't matter, because here if you remember, we are saying that the height and the width of this card will be the similar as our parent, which is the card wrapper. So that's why it doesn't matter, it will give us the correct height and width of our card. So after that, let's have the half width and the half height. So half width will be the width divided by 2, and we can, and here let's say that half height will be the height divided by 2. So now we have our half height and the half width. So these are the things that will be needed for our angle. So let's actually calculate the angle. So calculate the angle. So for the angle, let's say that rotation y equals to, so we're gonna actually do some calculation here. First of all, we need to say that in our rotation y means it will actually rotate in the x-axis whenever we will do the rotate y, and we need to specify how much we are from the half of our height, so the half of our width. So x minus half width, so it will actually give us the position from our half width, and after that we need to actually divide it with our half width, and finally we need to actually multiply the whole stuff with the most x. So if I multiply it with the most x, so what it will do, actually it will give us the rotation y based on our position. If our position will be in the left side, it will give us the minus most x. If our cursor is in the right side, it will give us the positive most x. So we will do the same thing for our y. So constant rotation y equals to, so here we will say that y minus half height divided by half height, and the whole thing we need to multiply with the most y. And also let's console log and see what are the values. So rotation y, sorry, there will be rotation y and rotation x, means this one should be rotation x. Fine. And after that let's see that. Fine. So rotation y and rotation x, and let's see how it is. So let's actually make it full screen, and here in our console log, let's actually clear this. And if I come here in the most left side, as you can see that in the most left side the rotation y is actually almost 10, and in the most right side it is actually, as you can see that it was minus 10, now it is almost positive 10. So it will do the same thing for our top and bottom. So if I in the bottom, now as you can see that this rotation x is the positive 10, and if I go to here, and it is now minus 10, almost minus 10. So based on our position of this cursor, it will give us the most positive x value or the most positive y value. So which is we want for this one. So let's actually apply this in our element. So set the rotation. So we will set the rotation in the card. So card dot style dot transform equals to, so we need to actually create these backticks because we will use the JavaScript inside this string. So rotate and rotate y. First of all, in the rotate y, it will be rotate y, and also make sure that you have the degree here, and after that rotate x, and here inside these brackets we will have the rotate x, and also make sure that you have the degree. And once I have that, I should see the, as you can see that the rotation is already here and it is looking really nice. And also what I need to do, I need to make the highlight moving. So right now the highlight is not moving, so let's actually come here in our highlight and let's remove this filter, and now we can see better the highlight. And let's say that based on our cursor position, the highlight position will be changed also. So highlight dot style dot left. So for the left, so here first of all let's actually go to inside the backticks, and here in our JavaScript, we will do a little bit calculation. So here we will say that rotation y divided by most y into 100, so 100%, and we will actually multiply the whole stuff with the -1, and also in the end there will be a percentage unit. So if I do that, if I come here, as you can see that the highlight is moving based on our cursor moving, means based on a cursor position. And if you remember, and if you notice that if I move my cursor in the left side, the highlight is in the right side, and if I move my cursor in the right side, now the highlight is in the left side, because we're actually multiply this whole stuff with the -1. So that's why, as you can see, that it is in the opposite direction, as you can see always. So that's why we need this -1, and because that makes sense, the highlight should be in the opposite direction, as you can see. Okay, great. So we have a problem here. As you can see that the position of this highlight is moving too much. We do not want to move this highlight too much. So for that, let's actually reduce this 100% from 100 to 30. I think 30% will work better. So as you can see that 30% is, I think, great, as you can see. So you can actually change this number based on what you prefer. So we need to do the same thing for our y. So duplicate this, and here let's say that the top, we need to change that, and for that we will use the rotation X, and here we will use the most X, and the rest will be the same. And if I save that, as you can see that it is changing. The same thing means if my cursor in the top, the highlight will be in the bottom, as you can see. Now we are done with our card. Actually we do not need anything else here. So after that, let's go to our if you notice that here is a problem actually. So if I have my card rotation here, and if I leave my card, as you can see that it is still in the rotate position. As you can see that we do not want that. What I want is, whenever I will actually move outside from my card, it should get back to the default position. So let's actually do that here. So let's say that whenever I will, so let's add a even listener in our card wrapper. So here we will actually listen to our mouse leave. So whenever our mouse will leave the card, what we want to do here, so we want to, first of all, we need to add back these highlights, sorry, this transition, as you can see that. So we are removing the transition whenever we are inside the card, but whenever we will leave the card, we want to add transition back. And let's do that. So card dot style dot transition. So for the card, there will be transition. For transform, 0.5 second is in out. Okay, so this will be the transition for our card, and also we need to do the same thing for our highlight. So let's actually duplicate this, and card wrapper, sorry, this will be highlight. So highlight, style, transition, everything is fine, but this will be for our left and the top. So 0.5 is an out, which is looking good. And also beside that, we need to say that we wanna do the same thing for our top. So top 0.5 second is an out, is in out. Fine. So now we are having the transition back here. And finally, what I want to do is actually I want to get back my default position. So add default position back. So here first of all, let's say that the card dot style dot transform. So we are actually changing the transform. As you can see here, we need to actually make it default position, so which is the 0 0 rotate. So rotate, we can actually rotate 0, which will actually apply the rotate x0, rotate y0, and rotate z0. So which will do the 3 for us. And if I check, so if I go outside of this card right now, as you can see that it is coming back. Awesome. So we need to do the same thing for our highlight. Right now the highlight is in the, as you can see that it is not coming back to our default position. So let's actually go to our highlight, and let's say that the style dot left will be minus 30%, sorry, minus 20%, and also highlight dot style dot top will be minus. So that's what we need. And if I now move outside, as you can see that it is now coming back to our default position. Awesome. So that's what we need for our HTML, JavaScript and CSS for this nice hover effect, as you can see. So now let's go to our style or CSS, and for our highlight let's actually add back this filter. So now it is looking very nice, as you can see. And also for this filter we need to actually reduce the around here, and now it is looking good. So after that, if you wanna add some blurry background in this card, let's do some stuff for that. So for that, first of all, in our HTML we need to add a div here inside the card. Let's add a div with a class of bg, and inside that we'll have our image. So let's actually add an image. I will have this image, which is actually a logo for our master card. So let's have this here inside of our bg. So we need to add some style for our background, and before that let's actually go back to our body and change the color of our body. So let me copy the body background color here, and as you can see the body background color is changed. So for our background, let's actually style it here. For bg, let's say that the position will be the absolute and top will be minus 20 pixel. So it will be the same for our bottom. So bottom 20 minus 20. So for the right it will be also minus 20 pixel, and finally for our bottom, sorry, for our left will be minus 20 pixel as well. And also we need to actually position it. So let's go to our bg image, and here let's say that the height will be, so we'll not have the 100% height, so 60% will be the height, width will be 60%, and here object fit will be the cover. Awesome. As you can see that if you want to change the position, what you need to do, you need to make it display flex. And align items will be the center, and justify content will be the center as well. Now as you can see that it is in the center, but what we want is we want this in the right side. So I can just say that justify content will be the flex end. So now it is in the right side, and if you want to have it in the top here, you can actually make it flex start as well. It will be in the right top. And also let's change the position of our this top card name. So to change the position of this card name, we can actually simply remove this height. So now it is in here, and also in our card number, sorry, in our card, the align items flex end, let's actually make it flex start. So which will actually, as you can see that for that the content of this card is now in the left side, in the left aligned. So awesome. After that, what I need to do is I need to add the blurry effect. So for that, in our background we need to add filter. So filter brightness 100%, and for our blur will be the 10 pixel. Awesome. It is looking really nice, as you can see. And also what I need to do, I need to make it z index -1, so that any of the content will be in the top of this layer. Awesome. So great, and that's it. What do you want actually? Now we can change our background of this card. So let's use a background. Let me copy a transparent background. So this background is almost transparent. So now as you can see that it is looking very nice. We have the blurry background, and also if you notice that the highlight is actually here, which is looking really nice. So yeah, that's it. I think we do not need to do anything else. If I actually zoom it, you can see it better. Really awesome. Okay, that's it guys. It is looking really nice, as you can see that. And let me know if you like this, if you like the idea of having this hover rotation stuff. Let me know in the comment section if you like this, and if you like that, please give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe the channel to see upcoming videos, and also share this video with your friends and family. And that's all. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care, and Khuda Hafiz.